I want some scrambled eggs. I want to pour them down my shirt and wear them like a fancy bouquet of eggy flowers and bring them to all of my females and my males and everyone who I am sexually attracted to. I want to fuck everything I come in contact with. I want to fuck you. I want to fuck you up with my eggy little cock, and I will show you my huevos and stew.
Huevos and stew?
A bowl for you.
Oh, and it is my favorite morning show.
Yes.
On 99.
Oh, enjoy. I made it myself.
Thank you so much. This is tasty.
Yes, you are quite well.
Oh. What the hell was that about? Greg, that guy just gave us 2 bowls of stew after opening the show.
Yeah, good for him.
Why'd you kill him? You killed him for no reason.
I killed him for one specific reason. New laser settings. This one's called shotgun.
Oh. Yeah. Wow. Look at the spread shot on that thing. That's insane, man.
I had to test it out on something, and here's a guy.
Well,
I mean, he already gave us food, so his purpose is kind of...
Let's get him away from the stew bowls, at least. Gosh. Oh, boy.
He doesn't smell that bad. He doesn't smell as crispy.
Spores now. Out of those
You know what does
holes.
smell good? The stew.
The huevos and stew. Yeah. Never had eggs in stew before, but it's an interesting combo. Well, you made less of a mess of that than I thought you would. Just ate it. Just ate the bowl. Like a Wonka bowl, but it's not meant to be that. It's not meant to be eaten. It's plastic.
I needed some roughage. I haven't had really any, like... You call that a slurp?
I'm saving it. I'm gonna save it for. I'm gonna peck at it throughout the whole show. I'm gonna graze. Yeah.
You're gonna treat it like a fine tea. Just give it a little sippy sip. You're gonna put your finger. You're gonna put your pinky out.
I'm even grabbing some non-lemon grass, regular grass from outside the door here. Sprinkle it on in the bowl.
Ew.
Close that up. Yeah, it brings out the flavors
of grass. Now the whole stew probably tastes like grass.
That is.
Here, let's...
Oh, don't stir it with your gross finger. Ew.
Yeah, it tastes nothing but grass.
Actually, now it tastes like human filth because you stirred it with your pinky.
Well, it's metal, so whatever.
Tastes like robot filth. Either way.
Are you calling me robot filth?
Yeah,
that's
robo
racist.
filth. That's right. That's what I've been calling you behind your back to freak, actually.
I'm sure he hasn't been happy with that.
He has been laughing along with it. I have had some zingers, actually, yeah. If I do say so myself. He does chuckle. Chuckle.
Is he doing like that awkward, like like a little... That means he's uncomfortable and doesn't know how to respond.
He is uncomfortable. It's the nervous laugh, but it also bubbles up from within him, so I feel it's natural. I feel it's actually making him laugh, but he doesn't like it.
I don't want you hanging out with Freak anymore. You're putting bad things into his brain.
I don't want to go to the free clinic anymore, and hopefully I won't have to. If you stop messing with settings on your laser pistol and just stop shooting everybody, then maybe I won't have to go over there all the time.
No promises.
Okay.
By the way, how's your little window in your chest?
Ooh, what do you think?
Ugh.
Look at that.
Ugh.
Pretty good, huh?
Ugh.
It's like an aquarium, but right viewpointing into my chest. A porthole to the soul. You know what I'm saying?
I like that, like, your natural juices have started to, like, seep in there.
Yeah.
So it's starting to fill.
And you see how, like, the roots are starting to reach across it and start to, like, web. So you kind of have to, like, look through that in order to catch what's the vertebrae.
That sounds like the opposite of what you wanted.
It is, and I'm gonna have to like open this up and clean it out once every month or so. It's probably gonna have to get drained
like a regular aquarium.
Yes.
What you need to do is install a filter.
You're right. I do need to install a filter and one of those little scuba divers. You know, like a tiny little like accoutrement around the viewpoint there. I like it.
I don't know. It's a good idea. I think it's too distracting because I'd be like, wow, look at the scuba diver swimming around instead of like, here's this gross vertebrae that you are.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I don't really want to distract from that, but you know, It's a work in progress. It's all a journey, and that's what we're on.
Speaking of works in progress,
yes.
How about this intro? Hi, we're the Boxcar Buddies.
I'm Don.
I'm Greg,
and we're really glad that you're joining us again. Mm-hmm. We're here in a new Boxcar. We're in a different spot. We're not leaned up against the YMCA like we were last week, and I feel a lot better about this spot. This was a spot on the map that my man Greg picked out. Mm-hmm, he, how did you come about this spot, by the way?
Well, let's just say that I was doing some target practice. I was making a run for an underpass when I came across, it's where we're at is kind of like an old skate park. It's been abandoned, obviously. There's a lot of graffiti. I mean, no one really skateboards like they used to.
Yeah.
It's like
they fidget spin. That's what they do.
Fidget spin, or they use their Heelys.
Heelys.
Yeah.
It is.
Heelys.
It is. Oh, you know what's messed up about Heelys is that you don't know, because they look like regular shoes, and then all of a sudden the kid does this skip, and then he's just gliding, and it's like, whoa, he's wearing Heelys. But there's a quick second when you're like, holy shit, what have I just ingested? Because that kid's moving like a phantasm, just gliding across the fucking sidewalk.
I don't know, I've gotten so used to it now where I'm just kind of like, kids.
Floating kids.
Fucking
Caspers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't they just go to the great beyond already? We don't care if you're friendly or not. You're still a ghost.
And you're clogging up my lines and stuff. You're running around. You're doing all kinds of shit that I don't want to see.
They do give business to Freak, though.
That they do. Spirit Detective.
Mm-hmm. That's the only reason that they should really stay around.
Yeah. For a man Freak. Yeah, Good dude. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Well, either way, Greg spotted this place, and it ended up being a perfect place for this boxcar this week because it's like by an abandoned section of the L, so there's no trains running overhead, but it allows
There's a lot of overgrowth, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nature's definitely taking this portion of the city back, for sure. Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're in the shimmer right now.
Yeah, it's green. It's green, and it smells mossy, It doesn't smell like a city. It doesn't smell like urine or food and concrete and human. Human
until
filth.
After we leave.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time
to leave our mark.
Yeah, and for us to take it back from nature, taking it back from the city.
Yeah, nature should know its boundaries, but it clearly doesn't. It keeps thinking, oh, no humans here right now. I'm just gonna sprout, and then there I am with my heel going, get out of here.
Don't put down roots. It's your problem.
Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a strange thing, nature, and it makes me think, Greg, about one of the things that I ended up watching this past weekend after we split. Yeah. I ended up. I went back to Scummies because I'd been missing him. We've been talking about him a little bit lately, and he, he's knee deep in some new project where he's trying to blend two species of plants. He's feeding it meat, singing its songs. It's very Little Shop of Horrors up there right now, and I don't, it was weird, but it also...
Okay, so when he's got flowers that talk and sing and hum, it's A-okay, but when I have one...
It really comes down to the fact that I trust that he knows what he's doing with it, and he's able to control it.
What?
And it's also not growing out of him and talking to him. It's just singing, and I could hear the singing on this particular one. I wasn't just taking his word for it. I wasn't just taking his word for it. I could see it myself. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, ultimately...
You were just jealous of my magical flower. And my can of rocks.
I am jealous of your can of rocks.
Mine.
Why do they look like they're satiating your thirst? Rocks aren't supposed to do that, but you look... Rock eater. This is right out of Neverending Story right now. Limestone? Is it limestone?
It's quartz.
That always seems like the tastiest rock, doesn't it?
Grainy.
Is it salty?
It's like when you crush it down, it kind of turns into the same consistency as like toothpaste.
Okay.
Well, it's rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Looking nice and sharp. Okay, but anyway, so I'm in Scummies. He's, doing his little duet with his plant and all that. He had to go to some faraway land in order to get some, DNA from a different plant to introduce into this controlled experiment.
He had to get flower spunk?
Yeah, essentially. I didn't really, I never do ask too many details. He basically asked me to stay there for a week feed his plants, make sure that, no unwanted visitors were coming by. He said I could use the food, use his furniture, video games, Netflix, all that good stuff, provided that I just stayed there and controlled the experiment, so I couldn't really leave, at least for like a 4-day stretch. So I was up there, and I ended up firing up the Netflix in between feeding sessions of this giant plant, which, I'll tell you, scary. It's scary when you're feeding like half of a goat corpse to a fully grown plant. And then the plant sings to you show tunes.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Well,
I could have.
maybe if you weren't blowing up doors, you would have been invited to be a part of it.
I don't think I'd want to be a part of that.
Really?
No.
It seems like maybe you want to be a part of that.
And just see, I would have been a part of that if a certain someone didn't yank my precious little Sonny
Well,
out of my hand.
okay, tell me that you're not happier with your laser fingers now after having happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're sweet, and I will say this is a lot better.
TV in it.
Yeah, and the internet and spices in your ring finger in case we ever want to make food.
And
The USB jacks?
Yeah. And check this out. I've been mastering the cord extensions. So.
Whoa! Look at that!
Yeah.
You can lasso with it. Oh, cool.
It's
Still slithering out of there, though.
it's not going back.
Yeah, it's still spilling out. It's a long cord.
I did add an extra 200 feet of cord.
Extension. Super extension cable. Okay.
Well, we're at the end of it, but
Okay. Well, we'll have to... Okay, be careful with it. All right. But now you're all wrapped up in it. Well, you know what? Just take it easy.
yeah, I guess I'll sit here and listen.
All right, I'll cut it once I'm done telling the
Don't
portion of the
cut
story.
it. Then I'd lose a thumb.
Okay, I won't. I won't cut it. We'll wind it all back up.
I'll bite you.
So I'm in Scummies. I got the Netflix fired up. I'm flipping through the feed, and I came across this documentary series which caught my eye because there was this like malicious-looking Indian dude with a long beard and like a turban and stuff on the front cover. Just looked a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared. You felt
Yes.
invaded. You felt
I felt uncomfortable.
no.
Yeah. So, please pardon me.
Yeah, it seems like that cough still isn't going away. Are you sure you don't have any extra spores in you?
No, I'm not sure. And I'll tell you, I saw some spores come out of Homeboy after you shot him. Definitely. Like, he spored up the inside of this boxcar. I mean, did you see? I mean, there's already shit, like, you can see, like, that stain on the floor there.
Meh.
There's some spores.
Meh.
Either way. Wild Wild Country was the name of this documentary series that I was watching on Netflix.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it basically, it's about this cult which grew in India and made its way over to Oregon eventually. There was this like plot of land, about 80,000 acres in Oregon, and it came to be known as the Big Money Ranch out there because it was empty for so long and it was waiting for some rich person or persons to come and buy it and all that. But it turned out to be this cult of people who were looking to build a paradise in the middle of the wilderness, but they wanted like a big city. And all the people were part of this cult following this guy, Bhagwan Shri Rajneesh. That's what it was.
That's a fucking name if I've ever heard one.
It is. So I'm just going to refer to him as Rajneesh from now on. Bhagwan Shri Rajneesh. And these people were, his cult
Call him
were...
Raji.
Raji, yeah. And these people were known as the Rajneesh Puram, like just the followers of the dude. He was...
Did he abide?
As far as I know, until it did not suit him to abide any longer.
Oh.
And then shit got really fucked up, and I'll tell you, kind of how it went. But basically, as the numbers grew in India and they were following this cult dude, people were coming over from the West. This is in the late 60s and the early 70s. These people from, like, Hollywood, from America, young intellectual people with a lot of money a lot of the time were looking for answers to shit, spiritual questions.
The great beyond.
Exactly.
How many times do I have to cream on top of a rock until I'm
before
fully
I'm one with
accepted?
the universe?
Yes.
Yeah, before I don't only have to live off of rice anymore. Yeah, exactly. So these people are looking for these answers. This guy, Rajneesh, gets on their radar. They go over to India. The numbers grow in this cult. This Rajneesh guy says, we need to go build our own city somewhere else. Followers look around. And his like right-hand man was this woman named Sheila. She was 17 years old at the time, an Indian, woman looking to sort of make her mark on the world. She was very ambitious, and this turned out to be like a perfect thing for her. She finds this place in Oregon and says, hey, let's go over there. So they take their jets. This guy, by the way, at this point, Rajneesh had amassed like 80 Rolls Royces. That's how wealthy this guy was rolling that deep in the 70s.
He was rolling deep in Enlightenment.
Yeah, Enlightenment, which was super profitable. I mean, people just making it rain on this dude.
Please, just give me more prayer beads.
Save more spots for me after.
Feels like fucking Mardi Gras. He's like throwing prayer beads. Be one with the universe.
Dude, he totally was into like finer stuff. I mean, he was rolling in like furs. He had all these like, his turbans were like diamond studded. He was decked out, man, like to the nines, right? Anyway, they get to Oregon. The locals there are ranchers and looking for a quiet, isolated life. This cult moves in not that far away, doing their crazy, and when I say crazy practices, their variation on meditation, fucking bonkers.
What'd they do?
I mean, I'm talking like, they had this routine of instead of quietly meditating and focusing on your breathing and kind of being mindful like the typical modern take on meditation, they were doing things like expressing all their internal impulses and desires, like screaming, shaking, grabbing women near them, and they'd be nude, and they might start like humping these women. Not like literally penetrating, but just like weird animalistic movements like that. So
dudes are screaming, I forgot to put the cap back on the toothpaste! And then he rapes a chick.
Yes, minus the actual putting in there and stuff. Like, yeah.
So it would just be humping. It'd be like a horny dog.
Simulated rape. Yeah.
Simulated rape.
Acting out rape.
A VR experience.
Basically, yeah. And everyone's offended, and nobody can sue anybody. It was just weird. It was a weird thing. Anyway, though, imagine being these, like, quiet ranchers, these elderly people who aren't even used to having neighbors, and then there's this city popping up in the middle of nowhere where all these young kids are humping each other and screaming all the time. And, like, yeah, it's bizarre. So there was conflict, like, right from the get-go. Then it starts to get, like, even worse. The government gets involved. They say these people cannot have their city. They just, like, they wanted to hold elections and be, like, recognized by Congress and all that shit. And FBI, they just didn't allow it to happen. So then they bought like a neighboring city, moved all their people over there, started really fighting with the locals, and then a real election happens. Like a governor or a mayor of that city was going to be elected. This ended up leading to the largest act of biowarfare on American soil in U.S. history. They poisoned this group, this cult, poisoned 751 people in this town by simply going to local restaurants, salad bars specifically, and spraying salmonella on the fucking on the salad. They just randomly carried out this poisoning act and fucking poisoned 750 people. They had to think real hard
exactly the exact restaurant to go to.
No, they went to all these restaurants. They went all over the town. That's why the FBI couldn't figure out it was them. They couldn't figure out a common source. So back in the 70s, when this outbreak of salmonella took place in the town...
I'm just imagining, like, how do you think they got away with that if they're bringing fucking spray bottles full of salmonella?
They said that they had a technique. They wore long sleeves, and they would just reach over the salad bar and, like, they would spray it
fucking
in, like,
incognito mode?
Yes.
Like, they developed a special trench coat?
Yeah.
The salmonella?
Sewed it themselves, yeah. Look at this pocket. Look at this wonderful pocket in here.
The finest leather and the most flexible hoses on this side of the country.
When you make the Spider-Man hand pose, you end up spraying the salmonella on the salad. Reach out this way. Spray your victims.
Every now and again, you may have to eat a piece of spinach. It is fine. It is fine. I will bless you. I will wipe your nose away and say bless you.
I will pray for you. Rajneesh, I hate spinach. It is for enlightenment.
It is for the good of the cult.
Listen to me.
If you don't do it, I will put you in the basement again.
I brought you here to taste test the Salmonella spinach. Do you understand? This is your function. Do you get this?
You feel like they had like testing for the fucking jackets. Like,
This one is flame retardant.
you see them like bring the fucking flamethrower.
Right. I would like
The hose is not flame retardant though, so if you do catch on fire, the hose will be very hot.
Stand back. I would like this one to have an eye on it for The Incredibles. It's going to be a movie in 30 years. It's going to be great, okay?
The spirits talk to me. They say that a man who is named after a flying creature will say, hey, how about I make a superhero movie, but it's about relationship problems.
Sit down. I'm going to tell you about Pixar.
Let me tell you about Frozen.
Right. So anyway, like that led to it. The FBI could never prove anything because it was like such a random and without a common source. They ended up blaming it on the food handlers. And these restaurants all had to retrain their employees and all this shit ended up happening. And no one found out about it until later when this cult actually ended up admitting to the attack.
Why would they do that?
It actually has to do with internal strife between the leader and that woman, his right-hand man, Sheila. It's really compelling. Like they ended up like becoming like lovers, and then
This sounds like a game of or the Song of Ice and Fire.
the fact that this really happened is unfucking believable. The documentary series was directed by these two brothers.
The Duffer Brothers.
No, the Duplass brothers though actually are executive producers of this thing, but the directors are Champion and McLean Way. Their last names are Way, and the two first names are like literally McLean and like Champion or some shit. It's
It's a good ass fucking name.
pretty serious, pretty
They're
sweet
named-
names.
If they're gonna be named after protein, then they might as well like enhance it.
Right.
Fucking Champion Way.
I bet you there's like one of them like locked in a basement named Kurdzand. Oh, you punched me right in the window. It's cracked.
Hey, at least the liquid is starting to drain out.
Oh, let's get it. Let's let it drain.
Here, let's just get it.
Okay.
Get old Pat.
Okay.
Get it.
Okay, that's... Ooh.
See, look, it's cleared up now.
Actually, I feel like I can breathe a little bit easier. That's pretty good stuff. All right, cool. Thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I'm looking out for you.
yeah, you are. Yeah, you
I'm
are.
looking out for you.
Yeah, you are. Right down the sight of that laser pistol there. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. But anyway, wild country. I don't want to blow anything more and how it ends up and whatever, but I found it to be really compelling. It was good stuff. The only thing that stood out to me as a bothersome stylistic choice in this thing was they played the Wild Country is a song. It's a song title which they play in every single episode of these 6 episodes of the documentary series. It's like their opening. Like they start the show, they tease you with like a little cliffhanger to pull you into the episode, and then they launch the opening credits. And the song, the theme song of it is this Wild Country. The problem is they let the lyrics of the song play while they're also running news footage and interviews, and like people are talking and it has to do with the plot.
Like of that specific episode?
Yes. And
That's fucking stupid.
and the lyrics are obviously pulling your ear. Like it's too busy for you to be able to understand what they're saying. So when you're really interested in the story, and then this fucking song that you have heard every fucking episode is drowning out plot
we found
points.
the cult was pouring paint into our rivers. Ding, ding, ding. I love finding eggs in the river. I've never done this before in my life. I'm so scared right now.
Yeah, it's like that. So you're sitting there watching it and it was aggravating to me. So that was one thing I will say, and these guys, I looked at the IMDb page, not a lot of history in terms of movie making or filmmaking or anything. This is like their 3rd project overall. So one thing that was a stylistic choice that I thought was a little bit amateurish and ended up bothering me. But overall, I mean, that's a minuscule thing.
Yeah.
Overall, the subject matter and the documentary series, top notch. I would recommend it. It's really fascinating. And when you remember that these are all real people and this really happened like less than 50 years ago in this country, it's pretty mind blowing.
Neat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus, that shotgun setting, man.
Well, at least the thumb's back in too.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
That is good.
That's just a little side effect if I extend a finger.
And you're free now. You can move.
I'm limber.
Yeah, you are.
Well, speaking of being limber, I saw the new season of Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh my God! Did it liberate you?
No, not really.
No?
So, a little bit after we broke up from our recording session last week, I was met by a fine gentleman downtown by State and Lake. It's there's like a little alleyway that's right behind the ABC7 building.
Sure.
So
190 North. Yeah.
I walked back there, and I'm just seeing if there's any dumpsters or whatever. I see like a couple like news correspondents or whatever. Like,
usually some McDonald's bags there.
yeah, just taking a smoke break and relaxing. But then I noticed a man in like a white trench coat. I was like,
ballin'.
and I'm looking at him. I'm like, "Are you with the free clinic?" And he says, "No. What I am doing though is I'm doing a case study. I'm doing a experiment with these new kind of drugs. They were big and red." I'm not sure exactly what he said they did. They're like some kind of like cancer reducer, whatever.
Pills? These big red pills?
Like big red pills.
Okay.
That you couldn't swallow them though.
Really?
Yeah.
Suppositories? Oh,
right
boy.
up the hole.
Yikes.
So I was like, all right, how much do I have to do this? And he's like, oh, I'll pay you like $600 to do this. And I just dropped trout. I'm like, all right, stick it up.
Hell fucking yeah,
Give
man.
me that cash money.
Yeah.
Probably about 2 minutes after that pill went straight up the hole, 4 days passed.
Oh, boy.
And I woke up strapped into a bed at the
Yikes.
free clinic.
Oh, boy. How'd
Freak,
your pooper feel?
not great.
Yeah.
Freak said it looked like the Demogorgon's face.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
splayed outward.
It was
like a Resident Evil boss after you've killed it.
It's like a flower.
Oh,
It
boy.
just sprouted.
Yeah.
So Freak was not happy with me.
Putting the pro in prolapse, you know what I mean? Boy.
What I was happy to know was that I still had $150 left in my pockets.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to the rest of it though.
Well, 4 days is a long time.
Yeah, but Freak said I did a bunch of shit that wasn't really cool, and he had to kind of take the rest of the money so he can like
Cover it.
repair the
Smooth
free
that
clinic.
out. Yeah.
So he was like, he hooked me up to IVs and shit, whatever, fucking boring, whatever. And he just flicks on the TV and says, "I'm just gonna leave this on, we'll watch whatever, blah blah blah, and we'll do tests."
SpongeBob was that?
I was
on?
hoping it was SpongeBob, but the cleaning lady came in and she accidentally hit the controller as it was about to start.
Excuse me.
No, please get out of here.
I would like to clean.
No, please, I just want to watch SpongeBob.
Oh, I bumped into the
No,
remote.
stop
I'm
it!
sorry.
No, I don't want to watch Santa Clarita Diet.
Okay, goodbye.
Ah!
Have a good night.
And I kept screaming for about 2 hours, knowing that
Understandable.
I was watching the new season of Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, Santa Clarita Diet. That's is that a Netflix show?
It is a Netflix show starring Drew Barrymore as she is a realtor with her husband.
Ooh, Timothy Oliphant, right?
Timothy Oliphant. He is by far the best part of that show.
I love that dude.
I think he does a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what Santa Clarita Diet is, Drew Barrymore and her husband, realtors, one day when they're trying to sell a home, Drew Barrymore vomits uncontrollably and she dies.
Oh.
And turns out that she has been turned into a zombie.
Zomboed.
A zomboni.
Uh-huh.
It's got a lot of like fun little cameos from some kind of well-known actors. Like Nathan Fillion is a former realtor with the couple, but he's also a womanizer and kind of a molester. And
Sure.
She is his first victim.
Oh.
And Drew Barrymore just eats him up, just sucks him down, blends up his body parts into like meat smoothies.
Oh, for later in the week?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a fun series, but I think the biggest problem I had with the first season was they didn't really do anything other than kill and eat people. Like, as far as finding out how she turned into a zombie, how other people have turned into zombies, what the red ball thing that comes out of their bodies, none of that is explained. And then season 2 starts immediately by the daughter's friend character making a serum that can stop the zombification from continuing to decay.
Mystery cure.
Yeah, he did it. He did it. She won't keep rotting anymore.
Cool.
It's funny though, because like her ear falls off, so she puts it on with like Velcro and shit.
Oh gosh.
But the season tries to answer some things at the very beginning, like maybe the first 3 episodes. It's like, all right, turns out the red balls can turn into spiders.
Oh, look at that. They're coming at you now.
Yeah, their red ball never happened because they put it in the freezer, so it's stuck in the freezer. It's
frozen.
It's just a frozen meatball.
Okay.
But then it keeps going back into this hole of like, there's nothing fucking happening.
Right. There's nothing moving the plot.
There's nothing like there's dumb character motivations that get resolved in an episode.
Right.
They meet another character who is also a zombie. She sleeps with the best friend character, and then she's like, I want him to stay with me so he can help me hunt and kill people. And then they're like, no, don't do that. And she goes, okay, goodbye. And she fucking leaves.
I'm done now.
She asks like all of them to take care of her ball spider. And then we never see the ball spider for the rest of the season.
Oh, jeez. Come on.
There's nothing fucking happening. The way that the season ends too is just, it's all it wants to do is set up for a bigger season later on. But since there's nothing happening with like the first 2 seasons, I think this 3rd season is just going to be another like, where is this fucking going?
Yeah, it's, kind of I haven't seen this show either season, but it's just hearing that description makes me think of the whole Netflix bloat thing, and it makes me think of like another
there's
useless
no Netflix
show.
The bloat is so weird with the show because it's only 10 episodes and they're only like 25 minutes long. There isn't really a bloat because you can binge through the entire season in like 3 hours.
Well, yeah, but what's driving you to finish the season if there's nothing moving the plot forward? So it feels to me like a pointless show, and that gets renewed for pointless sequels that, they keep promising something better down the road, but it never delivers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're trying to do. I think they want to try and stretch it out so they can meet like a season quota, but that's overall hurting the show because nothing's happening.
Yeah, it's
like
just...
this season introduces another couple that also knows that there are zombies around, and there's only like 3 scenes with them. We don't even know their names.
Wow.
Like,
that's horrible.
It's just passed up. Like, they have dialogue with each other, they make out, and they blow up a facility where the zombie stuff is being made. And then they're gone. And they're like, oh, we're going to murder all the other ones. The side plots aren't great. I do like the cast, though. I actually like the dialogue overall between all of the characters. There's some really good, like, witty shit from the Timothy Oliphant. Like, he's just great overall.
Yeah.
His reactions, his delivery to every situation he's in. I love the fact that he's the character that isn't just like going like, why do we need to do this? He's just like, okay, my wife just disemboweled a Nazi. Let me get him up. And I really like that about the character, but when your story isn't going anywhere, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
that's
what I mean. It doesn't sound like there's any reason why people should watch this show.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just constantly going into a hole of gross things. Here's Nathan Fillion's disemboweled head. It's
Talk
great,
to it.
isn't it?
Talk to it,
Isn't
everyone.
it funny, everybody?
And it's gonna
the
stay
neighbor's
there.
the neighbor's a cop. She may find out that they're zombies.
Oh boy.
Oh, but she's on their side now.
Okay. Yay! Come on into the house. Look, it's a
they
disembodied
did it.
head. Look.
Whoa! They did it! Yay!
Okay. So you're not recommending it?
I'm not recommending this. It's not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah.
I wish it did.
Yeah.
I wish it made like flame retardant fucking jackets or some shit.
Right. Right.
Something creative. But
That'd be
no,
cool.
they're just like, oh.
I really do. I love Timothy Olyphant. I like Drew Barrymore too. I mean, it's like, I don't really go out of my way to watch stuff that she's in, but when I do see her and stuff, I always like her. So it's like, I know what you mean about the cast and wanting to like it, but if it's no good, it's just no good,
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
If the show doesn't fucking go anywhere, I'm like, why would I want to continue then?
Right.
It's not doing anything.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's just no overarching plot. Everything else, subplots and characters and dialogue, it's all great, but it's supposed to service an overarching plot. Like, something's supposed to be happening, conflict, and something that makes you, especially a show like that with zombies, you want something compelling to, move you forward.
And it's so bad because they have a lore, but they won't show any of it. Because, they have this big fucking book about the zombie shit, but it's all in Serbian.
Okay.
So I'm like, why don't you find a guy to just read it?
Exactly.
Read the book.
Right. And there's
Just read the Google.
some Serbian out there.
You know what's the magical thing you can do? You can get your fucking phone,
Google
turn on
Translate.
Google Translate,
Yeah.
take a screen cap, and it'll be like, oh, Yahinga turns into crush the fucking red ball thing, and you'll turn human again, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, right. But something. Exactly.
Something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That sucks, man.
It sucks.
Well,
but
sorry to hear that.
it's fine.
I'm glad you made it out of the free clinic.
Yeah. Well, not on freaks terms.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he was laughing. Maybe he's not, Maybe that's why he was more open to, the jokes about you and stuff. It's just after this run-in you guys had, maybe he had a sour taste in his mouth.
Well, if he has a problem with it, he can bring it up, but he never does.
He's not good with human conflicts and confrontations. You know that. It's all
You
about
think a guy
spiritual.
would if he has to deal with ghosts
Oh, yeah.
who were former humans and the living because he's a fucking doctor.
I know, totally. But it's weird, It's like, once you're dead, he'll fucking, resolve the dispute until everyone's,
He'll
happy
suck
as
them out of the
clams.
air like spaghetti.
Yeah. He's into it, but you're still alive? Hey, your problems are your own, man. I'm just doing my thing. That's what he says. He puts his hands up and he's like, I'm just doing my thing.
You know what? That's a bad friend.
yeah.
I don't need that toxicity in my life.
I kind of agree. I mean, he's clearly on some weird kick now. He's on some bit of self-congratulatory thing. I think he's, if you've seen him within the last couple of weeks, he's not wearing that towel anymore. He's actually wearing pants. He's wearing pants and shoes.
Ew.
Under his trench coat. Yeah. Same fedora, same trench coat, but he's wearing
is
slacks. I know.
Who is he?
I don't know. Someone who shops at Big and Tall. I'll tell you that. Because those pants are twice the size of me.
Yikes.
Yeah.
He is a big dude.
Yeah. But
I mean, our heads reach his waistline.
I know. Yeah. He's gigantic. And speaking of strange happenstances, though, something else kind of strange happened over the weekend. This was after I had left Scummies, done with Wild Wild Country. It was all very, I was kind of just all that's rattling around in my head. Biohazard attacks and cults and weirdness in the 70s and Oregon.
Your
and
brain.
yeah, it's just knocking around in there. And so what I did was I wound up going to this rooftop spot that I sometimes will go to. It's the building's been repossessed. It's not inhabited by anybody, but it used to be a food court kind of a thing. It's down there in the West Loop area, and it has not been renovated yet, but there's a fire escape in the alleyway that I have pushed a dumpster against a brick wall, hop onto it. You can reach the bottom of the fire escape, climb on up to the roof, and there's there's a large wall up there that shelters you from the wind. There's kind of it must have been a rooftop restaurant at one point because there are these shitty, dusty, metallic chairs and tables up there. So I'll pull one of those out and I'll just kind of sit on it. And after you're there for a while, you can gather some warmth, and it's not a bad spot to ponder. Decent view and all that. So I went up there, and I'm just kind of thinking about all this stuff. And at about 3 a.m., which is kind of my pondering time.
That's when you lurk.
Yeah, definitely.
That's when you put on the cat suit. Mm-hmm. I've seen that cat suit. It's cute.
Accurate in terms of the Batman Returns Michelle Pfeiffer cat woman outfit.
It's got the creepy zippers and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took me a long time to make that.
See, from a distance, you look like some kind of weird S&M thing.
Yeah.
But when you get close, you're like, oh,
Batman Returns. Exactly.
Batman.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally. Especially the lipstick. Once the lipstick is what really kind of makes that outfit come together.
it's part of your incognito. Mm-hmm. Without the lipstick, like, you'd stick out like a sore thumb.
And it would be some kind of weird S&M thing. Without that lipstick, it's like, okay, you who are you?
Have you gotten better with applying it?
Yes, I can do it in the dark without a mirror.
Okay, that's good, because, the last time you did it, you were kind of like clown.
Yes. Well, and plus I had the nails on first, so I scratched the shit out of my entire face while I was trying to do it.
Yeah.
Not
blood and makeup
wasn't good.
It went from sexy and mysterious to serial killery?
Yes. Mysterial
killer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm up there in my cat lady suit and just chilling, and I don't know I still don't know if this was the real person or if this was sort of a vision out of the smoke, up on the rooftop. Yeah. But it was Rajneesh, from the documentary Wild Wild Country. It was the Rajneesh, the Rajneesh, the dude, the bearded dude with the diamond-studded turban, dude just walked out of the smoke and was like,
Donald, I need to talk to you.
And I was like, wow, dude, I just watched your fucking, poisoning documentary and shit. I can't, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want anything to do with you. This is kind of weird stuff. And he was like,
okay, let me put you into a position where you will listen to me, okay? Let us make this agreeable.
And I was like, it's 3 a.m. I'm in my cat lady suit. I'm just about as agreeable as I'm ever going to be for this dude,
Did you pose for him?
No. No, I resisted the temptation to do the Titanic
Good.
thing, draw me one of your French girls or
Good.
whatever. I didn't do that.
You do that too often.
Yeah, I know. It's and then the door thing. Whenever I see a door taken off of its hinges, I always lie on it, and then I try and make you be Jack, and we try and reenact the thing. It's weird. I know it's a goofy thing.
It doesn't work. We've tried. The first time was when I was like, okay, yeah, let's see if this will work. It has not worked since.
I know. It was perfect that first time because of the sewer that was right in front of the door so that you could be buried in it, and it actually looked accurate. Yeah.
I had a very Sullivan Grundy thing going on.
Yeah.
It worked.
It's not going to happen again, though. Yeah, I agree. I'll stop. But anyway, Rajneesh was like, okay,
Donald, I'm going to do this for you. Why don't we take one moment and stretch it out?
And as I was pondering this, he snaps his fingers and puts me into this little time loop. I was up on that roof. I have no idea how long I was up there, but I was frozen in time. It's 3 a.m., the city's still, and I don't know how much time passed. But the only reason I knew that I was there frozen in the moment, and yet nothing was happening, was because the light didn't change. Rajneesh was still standing around in the corner and stuff, but also when he snapped his fingers, this little portable TV set and a stool and a microwave with a bunch of Hot Pockets and pizza rolls and
look at him,
a little pitcher of lemonade. And
what a good host.
And vodka. I reached under the bed. There was a fucking fifth of vodka down there. It was fantastic. I got to say, Rajneesh made a good case.
He brought up a bed too.
Oh yeah. It was beautiful.
Was it a heart shaped one?
Yeah. It kind of was.
Was he trying to Netflix and chill you?
Ooh,
it sounds like he wanted to do Netflix and chill.
Very likely, actually. He was. Now that I'm looking back, the sheets were silk and pink. It was a heart-shaped bed. A fifth of vodka? I mean, wow. All right. Well, okay. Anyway,
it sounds like the signs were all there, Don.
Well, it's, again, 3 a.m. I was pondering all kinds of weird shit. I wasn't looking at that. And I honestly, I'll admit, maybe I was being a bit obtuse. I don't know. But anyway, pizza rolls, man. I was definitely plied with some pizza rolls. I will tell you that.
Never mind this time dimension that I'm trapped in with a known cult leader and con man, and also might want to diddle me.
He's an orator.
But he has Tostinos, and therefore he's A-OK in my book.
Look, his fucking leathery voice, that man can spin some words, man. I will tell you. Once you kind of settle into his cadence, and that accent is really rolling around
really
in the
warm.
head, it starts to make sense. It
Did
really does.
he do like gentle whispers? He'd start a sentence off like, "Dude, I have already put in about 7 pizza rolls."
Yes, he totally did. He went soft. Yeah.
He went soft, and then he came in real hard.
Then he came in hard. Exactly. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Okay, I see you are doing this thing over here, but what I'm doing now is I'm going to get in very close, and you and I are going to embrace, and I'm going to turn on the Netflix now.
I'm going to ruffle the back of your head.
And here comes the vodka.
Okay, another drink for my friend. Okay." Yeah. It was.
By the way, you look great in that costume.
This lighting for you is perfect. Is perfection.
I like the way that the moonlight shines off your black silk suit. It looks very warm.
Why don't we peel this away?
Yeah.
Let me unzip.
Yeah, it started to get weird.
So
Anyway.
so before he tried to diddle, what did he put on Netflix?
Arrested Development. Actually, yes,
the old classic Arrested Development,
the classic sitcom.
That good old Ron Howard,
Mitch Hurwitz, and a wonderful ensemble cast. I cannot say enough good things about Arrested Development. I think it's if it's not my favorite sitcom, it's like top 3 of all time. It's absurd. It's definitely a goofy combination of characters. And I know when people bring up problems they have with the show, they say that the characters are unbelievable or it's like too absurd.
Oh my God, a comedy is too absurd.
I know.
My goodness.
Not a good argument. Ever.
How can they?
But not to mention,
how can they think they can make the funny ha-has and do it absurdly?
And the other,
not my comedy.
And the reason that it works so well, I think anyway, is because you have Jason Bateman playing the straight man at the center of all of it. He's the guy that the audience relates to, and he's the anchor which all the other absurdity around him can bounce off of. And that combo works so perfectly. And I watched all 3 seasons of it, when it originally aired in 2003, like to 2005. I know that it got canceled, and it's one of those shows that Fox, cut, and a lot of people said it was too early, and then Netflix revitalized it. They put out the 4th season in 2015, I believe it was, 2014 maybe.
I want to say it was 2013, 2014.
Yeah, it might have been 2013 even. But so they revitalized it, but it was 10 years after the original. The 4th season wasn't, wasn't received super well, but in my opinion, the first and second season of Arrested Development are some of the best sitcom TV writing that there is.
Yeah, that show, I would say some of it feels a little dated just because it was early 2000s, so they were trying it was the introduction of fucking iPhones and shit.
Definitely.
But other than that, the humor still holds up.
Well, and they make a lot of they'll talk about Iraq. Some of their references are a little for the
old,
time.
yeah, because it was during the Iraq War.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean.
You can't really go back into it and be like, "What's Iraq?"
I know. Yeah, right. You kind of have to give it but. You talk about a show with running gags, callbacks to earlier, references to earlier
plot points. The fact that Buster
points.
keeps losing his hands.
Oh,
I have to say, as far as characters go, I really relate to Buster.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Maybe it's because of the mama's boy thing. You're
Possibly.
Really into, you were
I was
mom.
attached to my mommy's teat for quite some time.
13 or 14, if I recall.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty late.
Yeah.
Dad wasn't happy. He kicked me out of the camper van, and he said, "It's time to grow up, son.
Yeah. You have adult teeth.
Drink out of the carton, for Christ's sake.
There's a milk delivery man, and you're still adhered to your mama's teats."
Your mom's essentially shooting out powder at this point. She's very old.
It's upsetting. It'd be upsetting to anybody. Anyway, though, I went through I went through all 4 seasons of Arrested Development up there with Rajneesh, all of that, and I was just reminded of how much I enjoy that show. All the cast, Portia de Rossi, Jeffrey Tambor, Jessica Walters, Toby Hale, David Cross, Will Arnett, and Jason Bateman, as I mentioned. Like, everybody is so... And the cameos in there, Ben Stiller, what's her name? Liza Minnelli. She plays
she plays herself.
She's wonderful. She is wonderful in that show. And it's like just some of those cameos, some of the people that come in off like outside the fringe, their contributions to that are just wonderful. And some of like, I think it's also relatable to anybody like with a family and siblings. It's just a lot of the humor is rooted in those conflicts, like having to be there for family members even when they're frustrating as hell. But like, you know, you're rooted.
Like,
you're rooted
even
together.
if there's like a touching moment in the show, it always remembers it's a comedy first. It's not supposed to be touching.
Absolutely.
Or it doesn't. It's cold.
There's always an undercurrent of awkwardness or of comedy.
Yeah.
That's like, even if they're going for a touching moment, you're laughing about something else, or like someone says a line while it's happening.
David Cross's character trying to give a motivational speech, but he's painted like a blue man.
Yes, exactly. All the Blue Man references. Tobias, David Cross's character, trying to not be gay.
I love the episode when Tobias, he first starts being like the Blue Man, and he goes out for a night jog in like dark sweatpants and shit, gets hit by a fucking car.
Yes, because obviously he blended in with the twilight light in the background. It's just full of which he dresses up as a blue man because he thinks that it's a support group for depressed men, and he gets attracted to that because he's depressed, and then turns out to be like an audition for that. So like all these miscommunications, the misunderstandings, just all of that really blends together so well in this show. And if it's for some reason, if you still haven't given it a shot, if you haven't watched all of Arrested Development, do yourself a favor one weekend and just give it a start with an open mind. I feel like you'll end up burning through it like I did, because it is compelling in a way, and you just want to see where it ends up going too.
Want to see, that there's always money in the banana stand? Mm-hmm. Another classic reference.
Yeah. Michael Cera also in there, and him in love with his cousin, maybe.
Maybe.
It's hilarious. So, So, Arrested Development, definitely and highly recommending that. Santa Clarita Diet, not recommending it. Doesn't seem like it's worth your time.
No.
Wild Wild Country, documentary series. Skip the intro.
Watch the rest of it.
Watch the intro once. Hear the song one time. That's all you need to do. And then after that, just saunter on through that and skip ahead. But,
so did Raji whisper that in your ear too?
What, the song? The Wild Wild Country song?
Just the wild.
Have you been to the wild, wild country?
You know, my favorite song next to the Wild Wild Country is also Wild Wild West.
By Will Smith?
By Will Smith. It is a beautiful song.
It says so much about the American struggle and cowboys disguising their love.
Well, I'm glad that you got out of the time loop.
I did. Well, what I actually ended up doing was I ended up, once we finished the vodka and he really started moving in for it and we were done with Arrested Development, I smashed the vodka bottle and I used the jagged edge to cut off like the bottom 3/4 of his beard. And then that freaked him out enough to where he ran away.
You think all of his powers are in his beard? Like they're interwoven?
Possibly. Maybe it just startled him enough to where he let the time loop go, and then I managed to hop down, and you know how I am with the cat suit. Like I'll just totally make some gymnastics moves.
You scratched your claws on the side of the building and you
descended slowly. Yep, that's exactly what I did.
Sexy. Mm-hmm. It looks so good.
I know. I need some new paper clips now though because I burnt those all down to the nub, but worth it for the escape. Definitely.
Yeah. We should get you some arrowheads for your feet too, so you have cat claws.
That's a great idea, actually. I've been thinking about that. There's no help from them when I'm climbing or when I'm descending.
Yeah,
down
it's just all latex. It covers the whole foot. It's it's here.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's cool when I'm running though. It's kind of like that mesh to the foot running style. The whole
It's like the toe shoes.
Yes.
You can your feet are protected, but at the same time, you know that you're free.
I'm out there.
You're mobile.
Yeah. If I step on a rock, I'm fucked.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. Which is why I don't really buy into those. But tell you what I do buy into: pancakes.
Yeah?
You into it?
Oh, yeah. I'm digging in some pancakes.
You have any left of that $150? Because there is a diner that's real cheap.
No, Freak took that.
Oh,
Freak
okay.
took it all. He was
Okay.
like, you can't have this. But what we can do is just go up and say, hey, I'm testing out this new setting. This one's called Sniper Rifle.
Oh, okay. And you think they'll make us some breakfast?
I think so. I mean, check it out. Like, if I turn this thumb on,
Oh.
it turns into a laser pointer.
Oh, yeah. You can really show it off that way. Yes. Really freak them out. Okay, let's do that.
Don't rob people, kids. I can because I'm better than you.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely listen to Uncle Greggins on that one. But yeah. Thank you again for stopping by. We're gonna go try our best to get some flapjacks over here, with some homemade maple syrup from a diner locally.
I think I could just take a nice warm cup of maple syrup and call it a day.
Yeah. Actually, that might be what we end up having to do.
Just
but I'd be
put
cool with
a
it.
tiny scoop of butter right on top.
Eggs. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, thanks again for stopping by. I'm
Yeah.
Don.
I'm Greg.
And-
Follow us on all of our social media stuff.
Yep.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and send us emails at our Gmail stuff, whatever.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. You know what it's called.
Thank you.
It's got Boxcar Buddies in the name of all of them.
Yep.
You can find us.
That's
I
who we
mean,
are.
or you can look around for Greg's List. We have it floating around the city. I last left it in Bucktown, so if you head on down to the Western Blue Line and just fuck around for a little bit, you'll probably come across a Greg's List.
Yep. Just grab a napkin or a paper bag, write your message on there, and let the wind take it, and that's how we get it. So
Feel free to send us fan art too.
Yes, we're into the
I'm
fan art.
I'm a big fan in learning what Don actually looks like.
Yeah, we are. I'm into that too, actually.
I want to see Don in a cat suit, looking all sexy,
Don't
With his
forget the
li-
lipstick.
and his little beanie.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
forget the beanie.
Don't forget it. Seriously, don't. Because
Yeah, you don't want to see the
sometimes
top
I-
of his skull. It's kind of fucked.
It's patchy.
It's kind of fucked.
Patchy at best.
You've got like a Frankenstein thing. Like it looks like the top of your head was from a different person.
Oh yeah. The plate. You're talking about the plate, like the tectonic plate right in the middle. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
rusty. It's like rusty metal. Does not fit. Does not fit with the rest of the skin.
The beanie does though. The
I
beanie
know.
is very very flashy.
Love the beanie. Diamond studded. Thanks to my man Rajneesh. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you know Raj is giving you gifts now.
Well, yeah, he tossed it at me as I was, fleeing the scene, so I thought it was kind of a sweet sweet gesture.
beard, but I want you to look fly as hell.
You go to the party and you have a great time now, okay?
Make sure to come back leathered in syrup. It would be great for me.
If I see you without that lipstick, I'm going to take my way with you no matter what. And I won't be gentle.
Yeah, it was fucked up. But I'm glad I escaped there. So I'll be on the lookout for him. And we'll be on the lookout for you. We always appreciate your ears. Thanks again. We'll talk next week.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, everyone come over here now. Let's party together.
Stop touching me.
No. I want to feel
No.
you.
Salmonella.
I want to feel
Yeah!
Eat the spinach!
No.
It will make you big and strong. That is the reaction I wanted.
I want you to puke into the tube, and I want you to spread that all over the neighbor's crops.
Fill this baggie. Fill it with your puke.
Don't worry, I can help you. I just point my finger down your throat and look for the dangly thing.
Come on. Punch it. I punch it like a speed bag.
I treat it like I am Rocky. Here I come, big movie star, me Rajesh.
Philadelphia, here I come. I am royal son.
I buy new city.
Okay, everyone, let's have fun now. It'll be wonderful.